Welcome, welcome, welcome to the ill blur. Matic shooby-doo-doo, oh yeah. Welcome back to Ill Blur Matic. What is going on, guys? Today's new video is going to be about DC has a new general manager and also a senior vice president. So Daniel Cherry, the original general manager of DC division, the subsidiary of Warner Brothers Media, has stepped down recently, like January the 25th. I was like, what? Because like Daniel Cherry, I honestly didn't know who he was. He kind of was like this shadowy figure for DC Comics. Like, he wasn't like, and I'm not comparing Kevin Feige to him, so before I get into this, I'm not comparing the two. But I didn't know much of him as the general manager. He kind of stayed like in the shadows. You didn't know much about him. Also, with that being said, I think it's good to see that DC honestly is trying to get like someone new for their general manager for that. And then the good news also I want to mention too, that their senior vice president stepped down. So we have two people that have stepped down from DC positions, being a part of the company Warner Brothers Media. And I think it's a good look for DC, honestly. I think DC, in order for them to like maybe get better with their movie or cinematography, they need someone else that has a vision for it. And I just felt like Daniel Cherry was just like this mysterious figure. And I didn't hear much about him when he was a part of DC, you know what I'm saying? It was like, who is this guy as the general manager, you know what I'm saying? But also with them losing their senior vice president, which I didn't know much about either, and I was like, yeah, DC, y'all gotta find people that kind of, want to be seen and also like show that they have an appreciation for, the comic books and the TV shows and the movies. So the new person that is going to be the senior vice president of DC Comics and also the general manager is Annie DePies. And Annie DePies has, I guess you could say, somewhat of a resume. She's worked with DC before beginning this position, so it's not like it's someone that they brought in that was like super new to DC. She's been working with them for quite a bit. So I am delighted to hear this news because I'm like, look, they had someone like maybe a few years back and I'm just like, nah, we don't need someone that's like, don't know nothing about this. So she will be not just the, senior vice president. She also will be the general manager. And the good news about this is also, I want to explain this too. She's also worked with Jim Lee. So she'll be working closely with Jim Lee. And I think that's great. You know what I'm saying? They already have some type of a relationship where they're really have worked together as co-workers. And, her just trying to do the marketing. Let me just talk about this. What she will be doing, marketing for DC as a whole, for the branding of the company. She also will be the person giving the okay to like maybe the stamp of approval for DC, probably movies and TV shows. And also she will be the person to promote the digital media, meaning stuff that probably will hit HBO Max or the DC app. Is that even still around? I honestly don't know. If someone knows in the comments, please comment and tell me if the DC app is still around. Because I remember at some point they were talking about killing off the app and coming out with this Warner Brothers Media app. I don't know if that ever happened or not, or if it's still kind of the thing that's going to happen pretty soon. But I think, Annie DePies is a good choice. She knows she's been working with DC for quite a bit, which means that she has an appreciation for it. She also mentions that she wants to bring better DC stories for probably the movies and TV shows. I like that she's already worked with the company and not someone that's completely new. And I think it was time for like a new like senior vice president and also a general manager, because like I said, I never heard their names. I can honestly say, me, like I said, I like Marvel and DC. I had never heard of the original person that was in her position as the general manager or the senior vice president. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, but it's kind of like, well, if you are the face of a maybe a company or someone that's, you know, trying to bring in, you know, a business, you gotta see your face sometimes. Come on. I mean, you know, and I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not saying this that I'm comparing to like with Kevin Feige, but at least with Kevin Feige, we saw his face. You know what I'm saying? So we knew that he was, you know, the president at the time for Marvel. We was like, oh, okay, yeah, he's the president. This is the man that they go to. He's the one that, you know what I'm saying, that kind of gets things done. Hopefully, with DC having a schedule for their movies that's kind of working so far. I'm not going to lie, it's working so far. And with someone in position, I'm not saying that it's going to, like, you know, right out the door, it's going to be a success. But hopefully, Andy DePies definitely changes how things operate with DC. We already know that DC did not have the best strategic formula for their movies and TV shows. But in some cases, you know, I can't say that it didn't work. They have successful shows. They have some successful movies. They may not be like Marvel, but maybe at some point, with them having a new person that's in charge, that's already working closely with the official chief CEO, you know, like I said, Jim Lee, this is definitely a beautiful thing. I could definitely say that for myself. I'm like, okay, well, at least they have worked together before. It's unfortunate that we lost the senior vice president, you know, and also pretty much the general manager, but now she's gonna, you know, take both of those positions. And I just can't wait to see where this is gonna work for DC. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully this works out. And like I said, hopefully, you know, we see more of someone representing for DC. You know what I'm saying? So what do you guys think about this? Are you happy that they got rid of the original general manager and the senior vice president? The senior vice president, like I said, I didn't know much about at all. I was just like, oh, I didn't know he was a brother. I didn't know that either. So it's kind of interesting that, you know, how DC is, but it's good that they stepped down. Hopefully this works out for Andy DePies. You tell me in the comments, guys. It's your boy, illblurmatic. Thanks for supporting. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for liking. If you're not subscribed to the page, what are you waiting for? Have a great day, guys, and I'm out. illblurmatic and the saga continues. Oh.